Are you serious? Are you serious? Good morning, everybody. We have got a serious situation that has developed early this morning in Pennsylvania. A massive train derailment. There is hazardous material that have been spilled. And matter of fact, authorities are being a little bit hush hush on this because they don't really want to tell you what was spilled. Let me break down to you though the information we have acquired of what's taking place here. First, I'll put a quick shout out for www.trimwithpaul.com. That's www.trimwithpaul.com. According to the CDC, 73.6% of adults are overweight, and further, 40% of those adults are obese. This is why I'm going to highly recommend including in your diet this amazing supplement into your daily routine. It contains naturally sourced ingredients from Earth to support weight loss. Its main ingredient, CLA for short, has been shown to reduce fat storage while speeding up a fat breakdown. The CLA in it is essentially hinders the body's ability to store fat in favor of supporting the body's ability to burn fat. You could try it today, 51% off, plus several other additional free bonuses if you order now. Go right now to www.trimwithpaul.com. That's www.trimwithpaul.com. And you'll be glad that you did. That's for sure. Well, we got to do that. Man, this is a very serious situation has developed here in this hazardous spill. Another train derailment. How many times are we going to have these train derailments? How many times are they always going to have hazardous chemicals on board? Here we go again. Freight train derailment. This one is just outside of Philadelphia. The freight train development took place. This derailment in Pennsylvania prompts evacuations already for nearby residents and businesses. Now, the CSX freight train derailed in Montgomery County in Pennsylvania. You can see right behind me there is an actual photo. It happened early this morning, about 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Multiple train cars derailed. I believe it was around 20 over in the White Marsh Township near Floortown Road. Also, it's affected Joshua Road and Stenton Avenue at the White Marsh Township. Precautionary evacuations have been ordered already to those that are closest to the scene, but officials said it's not believed that maybe no more evacuations other than what they've done. And they've pretty well evacuated everybody within a mile and a half of the scene. But we're getting reports now that there was definitely hazardous material, and the hazmat teams have been brought in. Now, at first they said CSX thought all 40 cars on this train derailed, but we're now finding out, no, it's more like 20, half the train, 20 out of 40, while preliminary reports indicate one car was transporting hazardous material was involved in the incident. They're very concerned about leaks and spills of the hazardous materials. And so everybody is taking precautions. The local fire department has responded. They've declared evacuation for everybody within about a mile and a half radiance everybody within a mile and a half of the scene. Because of the concerns. Also, CSX also said that the cause of this derailment appears to be weather related. Now, I know there's been a lot of rain and flooding, but that was mostly up in Vermont. There was some, though, in Pennsylvania. A lot of rain came down heavily, and that may have caused the tracks to move, according to CSX. But no additional details have immediately been made available. But police are telling Fox 29 Philadelphia that the derailed cars were carrying silicone pellets, which pose, again, they're going to tell you this immediately, no threat to the public, but the truth is it does it does pose a threat to the public. It won't if people are away from the area, but representatives of Norfolk Southern and CSX are at the site right now at where the derailment took place along the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety emergency response teams as we speak. The Norfolk Southern have also told Fox Business that it was a CSX train operating on the Norfolk Southern tracks. So Norfolk and Southern are letting everybody know it's not our train. We didn't do it, but it is your tracks. And it's very possible that the weather caused the derailment by affecting the tracks. We don't know. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has responded to this derailment over at Twitter. And he said, quote, "My team and I are monitoring the train derailment, and we're assisting the local first responders. Thank you for the residents taking precautions at the direction of your local authorities. I urge you to continue following their instructions." Okay. Now, guys, you may remember that CSX also has said that the train derailed into the mountains near the Yellowstone River. You might have remembered when that happened not long ago. You might have remembered the huge train derailment, a massive derailment over there in Ohio, which a massive fire and toxic smoke and fumes and plumes and acid rain and contaminated water and contaminated soil, and they didn't even really hardly evacuate anybody, and this went on for 3 weeks before finally Buttigieg got involved. Now, I haven't seen Buttigieg yet this morning. I don't know if he's still on vacation or where he is right now. He is the transportation secretary, and he has been getting involved after being heavily criticized for not being involved in these recent string of train derailments. But I haven't heard from him this morning yet. So maybe he's done with maybe he no longer is going to be the spokesperson for the Department of Transportation. I don't know. Maybe they're going to reassign other people into that responsibility. But we do have a major train derailment in Pennsylvania. It has prompted evacuations, and it is a hazmat event. The hazmat teams have been called, and you have to really wonder. Silicone pellets is one thing, but and that was just one car. But the question is, how many other cars were carrying toxic and hazardous material? CSX has said that several cars were. Now that's their words, but we don't know what several means, and so we're going to have to continue to keep a close eye on this whole thing. There's always a lot of double talk and a lot of shifting blame and a lot of finger pointing that goes on in these situations. So our prayers are for the people who live there in that area. We're praying for all of you. We plead the blood of Christ over you, and we believe that God is looking out for you, and we're going to continue to pray. Now, we also know there was Pennsylvania, I believe there was some terrible rains. A family of 5 came up missing, washed away. They had traveled there from South Carolina and got in the midst of this torrential downpour coming down out of the Pennsylvania mountains. We know that the flooding has killed people in Vermont. We know that there is severe weather right now, tornadic activity and weather going all across this nation. It has been for days, with tornadoes and thunderstorms and large hail and excessive straight line winds and hurricane force winds down power lines and tree lines. And then we also know that we've been dealing with outrageous forest fires that are burning beyond our belief. Basically all of Canada, from the west coast to the east coast and everywhere in between, is literally an burning inferno. We know that as Canada burns, that toxic smoke and plumes and fumes and the ash environment that Mike Around the World has talked about has made its way into the lower 48 states, and we've been choking and gagging on these very severe, terrible conditions for breathing, especially for those of you with emphysema or with asthma or different lung conditions. And if that's not enough, folks, we're dealing with the most hottest heat wave maybe in history, as the temperatures in Death Valley did hit 130 degrees yesterday. scorching, unbearable heat in Texas and all of the southern states, high humidity in Florida, along with high temperatures, and all of the South in a miserable condition really right now. And while this heat wave continues to fulfill biblical prophecy, as the Bible said that the sun will start to scorch men with great heat, and men will gnaw their tongues for pain, but they will not repent of their sins, but instead they will blaspheme God for their burns and for their pain. And so we seem to be in that time. Thank you. Raven in the Desert just said it was 116 degrees in Vegas. It's even very hot in Canada. And that's just fueling and fanning the fire up there. It seems to be out of control. So, and then we got the landslides in California, and there's things going on right now. There's a hurricane headed toward Hawaii right now. Matter of fact, I'll just double, triple check that, because that's not good. I mean, hurricanes, it's because really we're living in a climate, a scorching climate. It's called Hurricane Calvin. We just got a report. This is 5 hours ago. Calvin is still threatening Hawaii with a very strong surf and storm surge and heavy rains as it's headed toward the Hawaiian Islands. Now, Calvin was a Category 3. It has weakened to a Category 2, but it is still headed toward Hawaii. It's still 1,000 miles out, but it's traveling at 50 miles an hour, and it's moving toward the Hawaiian Islands. And it will get bigger as it gets closer, as the waters it gets in get warmer. And this is what's happening right now. So we have to watch that. Pray for the people of Hawaii. What a beautiful place that is. And the people are just as beautiful as the location. So there's a lot of prayer going out. A lot of things are happening. Of course, that red star that was seen from Cape Town, South Africa. A lot of questions going on about that. The 7.2 earthquake we had yesterday in Alaska is still on everyone's mind. I'm checking the earthquake map as we speak. Alaska's still having some aftershocks, but there was a 6.6 earthquake early, actually late last night, late in the evening. A 6.6 earthquake hit Argentina. That happened yesterday evening after the Sunday Night Live broadcast was over. Argentina was hit with a 6.6, and we know Alaska was hit with a 7.2. So all of these effects of Planet X, I would say, is keeping everybody on edge right now. Don't forget, we did that webinar not long ago, Cataclysmic Apocalypse. I think I got a copy of that here. Yeah, the effects of Planet X. There's no question that that's going on. You can get this DVD at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Yeah, and then we got this one. Yeah, the Cataclysmic Apocalypse. What a great webinar this was. These are available. We heard from Stan Deo and his cataclysmic vision for New Zealand, and Mike from around the world in the Stone Steps. Pastor Begley with the Beast Kingdom Rising. Mark Wages with The Sun is Exploding. Stephen Bendanoon, Secrets of the Cosmos. Marshall Masters, Surviving the Apocalypse. And B.C. Begley, The Symphony of the Apocalypse. All of this was in this one. This was a very powerful webinar. Very, 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 very good. Stan Dale was incredible in this one. So was Mike from around the world. This was incredible. So Mark Wages. All these guys were really good. But anyway, so yeah, we're dealing with all these things now that are happening seemingly at an unprecedented rate. And people need to get saved and get born again. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm not feeling that great. I'm trying not to overdo it. And at the same time, I'm tired of not doing it. I'm tired of not doing stuff, and I want to get going. But at the same time, then when I sit up here for 15, 20 minutes, I'm just wiped out and I need to stop. So I'm going to. God bless all of you. We'll continue to push forward. Thank you guys for your faithfulness and your tithe and offerings. We truly need your help. We need your help. We really do. It's the dog days of summer. And so if you can help us, please do that. Thank you for being a faithful partner. Let's get as many people saved as we can, because we're truly living in the last days. If you'd visit our website, it would be so much appreciated. That's at paulbegleyprophecy.com. And if you haven't got your tickets, you got time to do that, of course. You've got plenty of time. I think we're still a couple weeks away from this webinar, which is going to be August the 4th, called Aliens Above and Below. And Heidi's put together an all-star cast of speakers, from Harvard professor Avi Loeb, who's been in headlines everywhere, Mike from around the world, awesome, Stan Deyo, amazing, Stephen Bassett, who's just been in the news recently, L.A. Marzulli, Laura Eisenhower, the president's great-granddaughter, Marshall Masters, Rex Bear, myself, B.C. Begley, and all of it. I mean, this is a huge lineup. And so if you haven't got your tickets, please get those done. Be ready so we can get that sent to you. Thank you for visiting our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. And I'll try to get back to you a little bit later today if possible. If not, I will see you tomorrow on the coming apocalypse. Thank everybody. Thank the moderators, everybody, for doing a wonderful job again. God bless.